Welcome to Reasons to Believe. This is Rose Karjala speaking to you from Trinity Church in Derry, New Hampshire. And I'm so glad that you are joining me today to consider some of the ways in which we can think through our faith. Never forget this: Christianity makes sense. It holds up under intellectual scrutiny. We do not need to leave our brains on the church doorstep. So, I'm wondering, maybe you've heard people say things like this: "Oh, faith is just a shot in the dark." Don't try to think through the claims of your Christian faith. Just close your eyes, grit your teeth, and accept it without questioning. You can't hope to understand it, so why even try? Is that true? Well, we can never fully understand God, but still, He created us with the ability to think, and He honors that ability. This is where we will focus today. Here are some big questions. Is there a God or not? If so, who is He? Who is she? Who is it? For that matter, who am I and why am I here? Why does the universe exist and why am I even aware of it? Does my life have any meaning, or am I just dust and the wind, as the old song from the 70s told you? So let's look quickly at three possibilities about the existence of God. First of all, maybe it just happened, bang, and we can never know why. If so, why does it look so orderly? Why are we alive and aware of it all? Is this feeling we have each of our own uniqueness, is that an illusion? Are we just cosmic accidents, stardust with no lasting significance, here today and gone in a few years forever? Do we live and die for nothing? Or maybe the universe's source is a blind, impersonal force. This force would be part of creation, but not separate from it. If that's true, where does personality come from? If all is one, as in Eastern religions, where does variety come from? How could one force diversify? If our purpose is to be subsumed into the one with no awareness of ourselves, if that's the goal, why do we feel unique and purposeful and valuable? Let's look at a third possibility, though. What about this? What if God is an infinite personal God, separate from his creation? This would explain the source of personality. It would explain the variety in creation. It would account for our feeling that our choices make a difference, that we have free will, that we can really impact our environment with our choices. And it would give us a reason for our feelings of value and significance. Here's a great verse from the first chapter of the book of Romans. What may be known about God is plain to them, that is, people in general, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power, and his divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. Let's look at God's eternal power for a minute. Look around you. You're going to see order. You're going to see design. You're going to see everything from huge galaxies that we haven't even fathomed to tiny subatomic particles that we haven't even fathomed. From the macrocosm to the microcosm, It all functions together. Just look up at those stars on a clear night. We can understand God's great eternal power from creation, from what he has made. God's eternal power. And then his Godhead. What is that? Well, that's the Trinity. The Trinity, a mystery for sure, and unique to Christianity. The Trinity gives us reasons for human behavior that no other truth claim can give us. Think about it. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God, three persons. Yes, a mystery, but from eternity, outside of time and space, before creation, they loved each other. This gives us a basis for the reality of love. And who of us doesn't think that love is real? Why do we think that? It's based in the Trinity. And what about our love for talking to one another, for communicating? Where did that come from? Again, the Trinity. They were eternally talking. Let us make man in our own image, for instance, in the first chapter of Genesis. They shared, they talked, and they planned for our salvation before space-time began. Then there's the big question of right and wrong, morality. Where does that come from? We all think in moral terms, although our opinions about right and wrong differ vastly, yet everyone agrees that certain things are just plain evil. Where does that idea come from? The idea of good and bad. From the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, who were always good to each other, who treated each other morally and correctly. So what? Well, we can reason what God is like just by looking around, and that is what Paul is telling us in Romans 1. Every human being who has ever lived can do this. God shows his character in creation. He also shows it to us in our own humanity, however imperfectly we reflect it. We love, we communicate, we know right from wrong because he does. Everyone can know something about our infinite personal God.